Hi, so yeah, I totally forgot to do this part, so here's me explaining my project. So first off, we're gonna go over here to the second tab. This tab, okay, the reason I made this whole workbook is because I am wanting to write stories, and so this Menaces data is the story I have already written. And then this little column here with the red and the green conditional formatting has how many pages I wrote by hand per day. These are the different days. Obviously it's red if the number is 0 and it's green if it's any other number. And then because I wrote it by hand, I don't know how many words, because I wrote it by hand, I don't know how many words it actually contains. So I counted a few different pages of the words on these different pages, and I just inputted them here, which gives me basically a words per page, which is the average of this little section here. The probably total words based on the pages that I have written and the average words, total actual words, I'm typing it up, so we'll actually find out. I don't actually know what it is. And then here's a graph of the consistency, and it's awful. And I hate how inconsistent it is. It's really bad, and I despise it. So, my goal here is to write 2 other stories before the end of this year. There's the Penelope story that I want to write in August and September, and I'm planning it now, and I just have a few more days to finish planning it. And so here, I also am going to do it by hand. Here's my student number. I just put it in, who knows how many words per page it's going to be. I'm writing it on different paper, so it's going to have a different spacing. There will be a different words per page average than there was for the Menaces book. So I'm gonna, with the first pages, count up how many words there are so that I can have a guess as to how many words are done per page. This, I just picked a random number for pages, but this goal words is also my student number. It's actually going to be about 70,000, not 13, so that's nearly double. And then I'm not wanting to write on Sundays, but so here for the average, for the pages I write, it's programmed so that it'll automatically put in the words based on the averages in this, what the average words will be as I enter that in. And then here, the goal words that I need, which means what is the goal number of pages, and I need to change it once I have the actual words. So this is going to be a work in progress. The average words per page, which is connected to this, average pages per day, so that also changes. And then the pages I have written, the words that are already written, and this is based on this section here. Pages needed, and that's dependent on what has already been done. So I think it's pages needed is the goal pages minus the pages written. Oh, yep, that's exactly what it is. Average pages needed, it's that divided, how many days I have. Same thing with the words, but slightly different. And then words per day is a little more complicated. It's based on how many words I have left and how many days are left. And the pages per day also is connected. So that's, I feel like that's pretty basic. And then here, these are mostly just for calculation purposes, but that's what the deadline is, how many days are left, which is not quite accurate. When I actually start, it will be accurate. I have this based on today. And there's my today input in that upper left corner. But today, total weeks, and that's actually so that I can take out the Sundays and how many weeks are in the next 2 months. Total days, excluding the Sundays, pretty basic. And then this NaNoWriMo is actually the exact same, except that instead of having 2 months to write the book, because it's National Novel Writing Month, November, there's just 1 month. And the average word, the goal words, instead of being 70,000, which was my student number by half really, and the other one, it's only 50,000, which means based on the input from the Menaces book I already wrote, if there's 220 words on average per page, that means I need 227 pages, which I don't think is going to be accurate. The pages I'm using are going to be bigger. with smaller lines, so that will be seen. This is really the same thing as the other one, but I did have to do it all again because it's I did them separately. But here's some average words for me to fill in. This also fills in by itself, just like the last time. It took a long time to set this up. And then this part is what took even longer. This took like 3 days, even though there's only, I think, 60, nearly 70 people here. Oh, good gracious. Anyway, these, I figured, well, since I have to make a workbook, might as well do something that I'll eventually have to do. I don't plan on needing this for at least another year, maybe 2, but these are agents from Literary Rambles, just this page for now, this website, but here's the agent's name, which is a concatenate of their first and last name. There's where I found them, and I just had to look up this information and fill it in. Agency, genres, specializes, not genres, response time for a query and response time for a requested work, and then if they respond if interested, or if they respond no matter what. Yeah, so they're all different. Some of them look specifically for YA books or young adult books, and since my books, I think, pretty sure this one is an adult book. These two, I think. This one might be YA, but this one I think is going to be adult as well. We'll find out. I'm not actually sure, which is probably a bad thing. Anyway, let's go over to the dashboard. This is fun. You'll like this. So this dashboard is connected to the agents part. Wow, that looks really pixely. It's fine. I can't change it right now. So this has a drop down of all the agents on that list. So let's pick Sarah. Sarah represents sci-fi and fantasy, so if I write a romance, I should not send it to Sarah. She does specialize in YA, so I need to keep that in mind. If I do have a sci-fi or a fantasy that I end up sending in, you know, it's going to be interesting when I actually figure out what kind of books I want to write. Anyway, she refuses. Nothing stated that she'll refuse. She's found at this website. They're all found at that website. And then this, move over, is her agency. Yes, it was in lowercase. I was surprised by that. She'll give a query response in 2 weeks and a request response in 1 month. And that is my project. It took me a long time to make. At least 10 hours. It took a while. Maybe I should have just copied and pasted these two and then altered it from there, but I did them both from scratch, even though they really are the same information, kind of. Anyway, that's my project. Thanks for watching. Thanks for teaching me how to do this, and I'm really excited to be able to use it. Sorry that it's late.